Welcome to LoreStory. In today's video, we continue the story of Adolf Hitler, beginning in the trenches of World War I, through his rise in German politics and ending on the eve of the Second World War. In 1914, Adolf Hitler eagerly volunteered to fight for Germany in the First World War. By 1915, he was a soldier in the trenches of the Western Front, living among mud, blood, and barbed wire. For the next 4 years, the war would shape him profoundly. It would harden his nationalism, deepen his resentment, and leave scars that would fuel his political destiny. Hitler served as a dispatch runner for the 16th Bavarian Reserve Regiment, carrying messages across dangerous front lines. Unlike many of his comrades, he was not known for reckless bravery, but for discipline and endurance. The war gave him a sense of belonging he had never felt before. For the first time, he was part of a cause larger than himself. He was wounded twice, once by shell fragments, and later blinded in a British gas attack in 1918. While recovering, he learned of Germany's defeat and the Kaiser's abdication. To Hitler, the surrender was unbearable. The humiliation of defeat, combined with the Treaty of Versailles that followed, became central to his worldview. Germany, he believed, had been betrayed, not defeated. Returning to Munich after the war, Hitler was a man without direction. He had no family, no career, and no prospects. Yet he was not alone in his bitterness. Germany was in turmoil. Revolution swept through the streets. Communists and nationalists clashed, and the economy teetered on collapse. Amid this chaos, Hitler found a role once again. The German army, seeking to monitor radical groups, assigned him to attend political meetings. One such meeting would change everything. The gathering of the small German Workers' Party. Hitler joined the German Workers' Party in September 1919. At first, it was a fringe group with just a few dozen members, but Hitler quickly revealed his talent for oratory. His ability to channel anger, to stir emotions, set him apart.
Wir sind doch wieder ein so anständiges Volk geworden. Wir sind doch jetzt wieder ein so fleißiges und tatkräftiges Volk geworden. Was schaffen wir jetzt nicht wieder in Deutschland? Was haben wir nicht für Aufgaben? Man hat uns die ganzen Jahre schon eingeredet, dass der Deutsche sowieso nicht ganz gleichwürdig sei den anderen Völkern in der Welt. Was haben wir heute für Aufgaben? Was für gewaltige Werke bauen wir? Wir bauen heute die schönsten Straßen, gewaltige Anlagen, industrielle Art, neue Erfindungen.
By 1920, he had helped transform the group into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, the Nazi Party. The swastika became its emblem, and Hitler its most electrifying speaker. His speeches drew crowds of thousands, uniting grievances about defeat, poverty, and resentment into a singular movement. By 1923, Hitler believed the moment had come for revolution. Inspired by Mussolini's fascist march on Rome, he and his supporters attempted a coup in Munich. On October 8th, they stormed a beer hall, declaring the start of a national uprising. The attempt, known as the Beer Hall Putsch, collapsed in a hail of gunfire. 16 Nazis were killed, and Hitler was arrested for treason. At first it seemed his career was finished, but his trial gave him a national platform. Newspapers reported his speeches word for word, spreading his message far beyond Bavaria. Sentenced to 5 years in Landsberg prison, Hitler served just 9 months. There, he dictated Mein Kampf, part autobiography, part political manifesto. In its pages he set forth his vision: racial purity, hatred of Jews, contempt for democracy, and the belief that Germany needed to expand eastward for living space. At the time, few paid much attention, but Hitler's ideas were now written and his conviction hardened. When released in 1924, he vowed to seize power, not through another coup, but through politics. The late 1920s tested Hitler's patience. Germany stabilized under the Weimar Republic, and the Nazis won little support. But he reorganized, building a propaganda machine, youth groups and paramilitary wings like the SA. Then came the Great Depression in 1929. With factories closing and unemployment soaring, despair gripped the nation. The Nazis seized the moment. They promised jobs, strength, and restored pride. By 1930, their once small republic had become a national force, capturing millions of votes. In 1932, Hitler ran for president against Paul von Hindenburg. Though he lost, his popularity was undeniable. Political elites believed they could use him for their own purposes, controlling him while exploiting his mass appeal. They were wrong. On January 30th, 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Within weeks, the Reichstag fire providing him the excuse to crush opposition. The Enabling Act soon followed, giving him dictatorial powers. In 1934, after the death of President Hindenburg, Hitler merged the offices of Chancellor and President. He declared himself Führer, Supreme Leader of Germany. Hitler wasted no time in reshaping Germany. Rival factions were crushed during the Night of the Long Knives in 1934. As Hitler ordered executions to secure loyalty, propaganda filled every corner of society, glorifying the Führer and silencing dissent. The SS and Gestapo enforced terror, while massive rallies in Nuremberg projected strength and unity. Germany was no longer a democracy, it was a totalitarian state, with Hitler at its absolute centre. By the late 1930s, Hitler set his sights beyond Germany's borders. He rebuilt the military, defied the Treaty of Versailles, and expanded territory. In 1938, Austria was annexed. That same year, the Munich Agreement handed him the Sudetenland. Britain and France hoped appeasement would keep the peace, but Hitler's ambitions would not stop. In September 1939, Germany invaded Poland. The world was once again at war. From the trenches of the First World War to the Führer's podium in Berlin, Adolf Hitler transformed himself from a soldier to a dictator. His rise was not inevitable. It was built on fear, anger, and the failures of a fragile democracy. But by 1939, he held Germany in his grip, and the world stood on the brink of catastrophe. I thank you for watching this episode. Please join us next time as we uncover the world at war and Hitler's path toward ultimate destruction.